Hello, folks, and welcome back to another installation of the ESEA Mountain Dew League. We're going to be jumping into Movistar Riders versus alternate attacks to begin the day. Seeing as VP are still on a bit of a minor run, we're going to be switching the schedule and switching things up, which we've also done by bringing in Scriv. Dude, this is the first time I've had a chance to cast with you, my man. And
Yeah, for
I got to
sure.
say, I'll be the first to say it. I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited as well. I think we've got a pretty interesting matchup. Between these two teams. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of been a little bit of a hard time for Movie Star Riders. They were so very close to winning the MDL season. Just a couple months ago, and unfortunately, kind of losing Lowell really threw them for a loop. And alternate attacks being this team where they've been on the rise, but then same kind of situation. They've sort of plateaued off a little bit and just not really proven themselves. But we'll see. Mirage, obviously a great map, a home map, I would imagine, for both these teams. They're going to be prepared for this one. And a lot of utility coming out from alternate attacks. We'll see what they've got planned for it.
Getting that B site, taking a lot of damage off of the grenade first and foremost. But kills from Alex and Mixwell as Mixwell tries to jump. Holding off on the pillar, the arch. Alex looking for a follow-up. So at least he slowed down this play and maintains the man advantage. Killing the player that's lit and isolating bomb back by bench. That puts Stefan into such an awkward spot that he tries to burst door and down he goes for it. So nice solid hold. Nice solid hold script to start the day.
Yeah, for sure. Looking pretty decent. Just kind of, I don't know, alternate attacks. They had that utility, seemingly trying to, bait things out over towards A or whatever, but just not really biting on the side of the CTs and holding it down pretty well. Going straight in with the rifles here as well. 4 FAMASs coming out, not taking any chances. They maybe are fearing a bit of a force buy, a little bit unsure perhaps, but it is just going to be the straight up eco. A P250 in there, but Man2 tag down pretty low. They will Glock train down Alex and deal with him, but I think ultimately it should be the rounds going the way of the CTs. The bomb goes down, they can be happy with that, but a little bit more damage being traded, but unfortunately, just not finding those kills as is to be expected with no armor and just Glock, so it will be a relatively clean second round for Movie Star Riders.
Yeah, that's decent. They trade out the single SMG they bought into. This is a curious buy. Obviously not using the SMGs to make up as much money as they could. Riders would be holding those lesser weapons right now against the obvious AK purchase of attacks. Now, this AK purchase made better by the bomb plant. You're going to have the op thrown in by Slacks and full utility for the other 4 players. Now, the question will be kills, right? We've still got 3 guys on alternate attacks sitting on the goose egg. But at least we've got the FAMAS plus a single rifle. This is a really good outcome for Movie Star Riders with 0 losses. Even though they gave up that plant, it's almost even keel. As long as they don't overface this Opper, they'll be fine. And Slacks looks to open up onto the B site where it's Mopaz just jump spotting. Ooh, that is close. 3 players ready to pop him, bomb included. So he needs a rotation or a massive hold.
Yeah, he is going to call for a bit of help from Deaths. Great time on the Molotov from Mixwell. Dude tries to take the fight, unfortunately doesn't find it, so, just gaining little bits of information so far. Obviously, there's this HP advantage for alternate attacks that'll come into play in the next kind of 30 to 40 seconds of the round, but they're really rotating the utility well. We saw a deep smoke coming in from Mopaz, now we've got a Molotov through from Deaths, just keeping alternate attacks back so that they can't find the opening picks, and I think they are a team that kind of rely on those opening picks, especially on their arguably weaker T side. Slacks is going to be a huge part of that with this AWP, and they're just not giving him any room at all. Another smoke goes in. They've just been sat in apartments for a good 30 seconds doing nothing at all.
A weird smoke, though. It gets stuck up on the chair. So there's a gap for this Opper to work with. Trying to get this entry. First 2 holds is from Alex and Mopaz, and Deaths even kills this feed. Now here's the headshot, or not even. Just a swift cleanup from the van. Stefan looking to clear these close corners, but Mopaz's repositions found out. 2-0 for the Riders, looking to get that third. Versus the guns, it would be huge. And half HP for Stefan's not where he wants to be. Ooh, even though he's outnumbered, he finds the clean headshot. Soaker's just trying to keep that distance vision, but 8 seconds. Alex position, no. Stefan's going to push this kill. He's trying to get it, and it's Alex. It's Alex to close it. 3-0 for Riders. But damn, what an effort.
Yeah, definitely a close one. I think if maybe, Alex doesn't get that cheeky kill through the smoke, but just playing it super safe, I think, Movie Star Riders ultimately just able to use the fact that they had run down the clock you know, and kept alternate attacks back, not allowed them any kind of an opening, and then, you know, they spot out that B split coming in, and they're just easily able to deal with it, even through the smokes and through the kind of angle from windows. So really good stuff, utility-wise, honestly, to just keep alternate attacks back.
100%. Those grenades won that round. You can see the entirety of the plan for Attax in the previous was simply hold off on B, get that opening pick, exert the force on a 5v4, and when that didn't come to them, ooh, bomb site didn't crumble. That's a bit of a throwback, honestly, to say like the pistol round where we had that one player on the B bomb site able to work his way around certain positions, pick up kills one at a time. It all comes to a close. Fourth round, exact same, you know, nice and clean. Guns on the bomb site. Sure, you get the push. Sure, you get the plant, the Tech 9s, the Mac 10. It gets it done. And a beauty of a 2K from Cressy. You know, the only player to get kills for Attax that round, jumping Tech 9 to the staircase, 90-degree flick and clear triple stack. He gets points for that, but he needs points here in the gun rounds. We still have 2 players, 0 kills. Opper included. Slacks, how is he going to change it up to ensure he gets a pick? Because I think waiting out smoke grenades isn't his best effort.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was kind of the issue. They were like, right, we're going to go B this round. And then they just sort of stayed B when all that utility was there, rather than moving the AWP around. We'll see. This is a nice little off angle. Unfortunately, it does not work out for Soko. Mantu is savvy to the fact on the edge of that smoke. He wins the fight, and that's a pretty good opener, to be honest. He does take a fair amount of damage, but it's going to be fairly easy mid-control for alternate attacks. The question, of course, you know, where are they going to go from here? And I suppose Movistar Riders, it's going to be the first proper test for them. There's still a lot of utility left for this T side. As you can see, starting to float back towards the A site, maybe trying to, you know, go for an execute later on in the round there. But the CT side, it's such an early pick to lose. They lose so much control, but also information on both sides.
Now that's the kill that could probably cost them. You know, we just said this is the first test. It's the first notable round where Attacks have a 5 versus 4 to work. But it's the follow-up kill on the A site. Stefan, with 8 health, gets the chance to clear Alex, who just wasn't able to cleanly finish off a frag with his first attempt. Now, the damage is the follow-up. These CTs have to start peeking off of their spawn. Ticket booth pressure is a necessity if you want to deny plant, and that's what they were hoping to do. Now that there's just 2, the retake's on. Molotov, first out, smoke to follow on ramp, Slacks, scoped in on the ticket booth, so this is an easy kill, but Mopaz has been able to creep up close. Ooh, caught though by Palace. Dude's gonna just peek out, get the best of him off the tip of his head, the information and the round. 4-1. We've got Attacks on the board script, and we've got Riders in an awkward spot. You know, 3 of these guys with 2.5K, Alex down at 1.5. Mopaz should maybe just drop some pistols, and this is Attacks with a very good chance to get onto the board. Ooh, a force buy. Let's do it. That's a lot of AUG on the. That's a lot of pressure on the AUG. So real quick, let's see. Not what we were expecting. Biggest result should be hoping to come off of the scout with ticket booth, because this is an A split and that AUG's not in position, but Mixwell dies instantly. The second biggest piece of this puzzle after Mopaz's AUG, and it hits the dirt first. Cressy, 2 kills in the follow-up, 5 versus 2. This force buy should really come back to bite the script.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to have to, you know, sit for a few rounds. Maybe just the one, to be fair, with the loss bonus, but it's that CT side. This is where, of course, alternate attacks are going to be able to kind of close the gap. Should be a fairly easy one here, but even the next round, if they opt to go for the buy, it's going to be poor from Movistar Riders. And yeah, a pause in order, because that force buy just completely fell apart. Maybe there's an argument to be made if they pick up some kills, they save some weapons, you know, then it's not all bad. Yeah. It's kind of that damage control, but they just got ripped apart. Alternate attacks kind of maybe thinking that they're going to be on an eco, played it like, you know, very aggressively in their face, and it worked out nonetheless. But yeah, Movistar Riders just really feeling the burn after that one.
Right, and you think back, all right, with their setup, how could it have worked for them? Well, Riders, they have that single AUG on the B site. It wouldn't be the first round that we'd seen Attacks try to play contact towards B, try to go into that arch app split and hit the bomb site in a late execution, a situation that Riders had very easily dealt with at times. So if that auger can hold the pressure, fine. Very fine. And secondly, if the scout, the longest distance weapon you have, that scope up towards connector can get a couple of tags, then everybody else can succeed. But that poor scout player just gets drive-by with the AK. Like you said, I agree with you here. When it's like, if this was an eco, the speed, the pace at which they played, it would have torn right through it. And yet the same strategy worked even though it was a force. We've got the smokes and the flashes to the B site, just these USPs trying to hold. There is a Zeus in the mix on Mopaz, coming in for that fast flank, and 4 bodies here is huge. Can they do anything with this?
I mean, maybe. There's an argument that they could possibly do some damage. Unfortunately, Mantu and Cressy are just kind of cleaning things up relatively easily in from behind. I think he wanted to go for the knife, but he was kind of like, go for that safe play. Actually picks up a second here as well. Some serious damage being done. And dude on the headshot angle gets clapped. Mantu will finish him off. But that's a pretty nice 3K and some pretty good damage, to be fair. Keeping that T-side economy a little bit in check. It is starting to, you know, spiral out of control. But reinvestments are always handy. And Mopaz maybe getting that confidence going could potentially pull out an individual play in some of the rifle rounds. As we said in the past, you know, when Cressy got his 2K, it's cool to be getting the flashy kills, but you need them when it counts.
The buyback. This is it, Riders. They lost their chance to maintain the lead. The gap has been closed. This is it. The deciding factor. Tie or go, go, go. But still no AUG in play. Or excuse me, AWP in play. Slack is gone. Repositioned over towards Palace. We've seen him try to entry in apps, top mid, and now the other side of. So I like the proactive positioning of an AWP. Try to crack open all the different setups. Try to test those initial positionings. But here's a headshot from Dude that turns the tide. 3v3. CT's having to double back over towards Ticket, but they lost their anchor on site. This is looking favorable, although Slacks is in a bit of a tough spot. Just crouch walking smoke as Stefan plants 4 middle. Missed off shot means Soaker closes this distance, and he's gotten amidst the bomb site, jumping to the bot, and Slacks has to deal with this heat close. But the CTs have a chance to breathe because the bomb and that smoke are both on site.
No kits available though. They are going to have to move in quickly. Slacks with the no-scope. Up close and personal, seemingly coming out on top of things. Mopaz as well was just trying to play the patient game, and unfortunately he's a little bit too patient. Dude easily able to deal with him in the end. And alternate attacks, they get their 4th round. It kind of comes down to the wire, but ultimately, you know, again, that aggression, the relentless aggression, they're just able to play off the back of the fact that, you know, Movistar Riders lacking in utility can't really hold them back, you know, with Molotovs or things along those lines. And it's always helpful catching someone with their pants down, as they did that player at Connector. So I don't know. I just think alternate attacks, they're warm after playing against Vitality in their previous game, and I think they are really firing on all cylinders here on Mirage.
Yeah, to be fair, there is, you know, there's truth in that. If you're in the, you know, if you're in the play and the big kid comes over and starts pushing you around and, you know, wrestling with you, a little playground wrestling, Scribs, you're gonna get your ass kicked. But coming off of that, you can use your beating and apply it to the smaller, weaker kids. That's what Riders is right now. You know? They call me scrawny for a reason. I know this example well. Mixwell and his pistol just gets obliterated. Mantu blows him out from the corner. And we have Riders now, well, giving up their lead. This was a strong start from them. And Attax have used the momentum to bring it back. The economy's played into the favor for them, and now it should the Riders. Any additional damage they can get done in this round will be great going back into what is now the, you know, the third quarter. Third quarter doesn't make sense. But let's ignore anything I'm saying, because Soaker just rips a head off. Hello. And goodbye. Dude's down. Slacks brings it back. Headshots the player off of Ticket, and they need to find a way to cross the bomb.
Yeah, I think they do have the utility available. Deaths is here, though, could move ahead of these smokes, so to speak, you know, while they're in that false sense of security. Unfortunately, not quite landing the shots. However, the damage is being done. Soaker comes in with his second. Cressy's pretty low, getting aggressive through the smoke here for just a moment. You could see him maybe finding both of those, but no, Slacks is fast enough on the reaction. But that's 3 kills coming in for Movistar Riders there for very little investment. So again, it is a relatively strong economy for alternate attacks, but it is keeping it in check. It is, you know, kind of making life easier. They only need kind of the 2 rifle rounds in a row rather than 3, maybe, you know, that kind of mentality. And always, again, the confidence, it does well. But we'll see. This is a pretty damn good buy coming in from Movistar Riders. Probably one of the better ones that they've had, and a beautiful flash coming in there. Some nice proactive action towards ramp and in towards window as well. Deaths with a double spray down, and this round has been ripped apart in the first 30 seconds. The CTs in a 5 versus 2 already.
Riders, they seemed ecstatic to be back in on a buy. Get that early charge towards ramp. They were using vision over the Molotov to pick up the kill on ramp, and that activated the underpass push. You had 2 players from Attax pushing upwards, and Deaths heard it from a mile away. Because he was posted up on the windowsill, easy double spray down. He hears 2 sets of feet. He knows exactly what he's getting into. And now Mopaz, who's been able to push aggressively into the apartments multiple rounds, maybe a lack of this apartment's presence, he's going to be the nail in the coffin. 0 chance for Stefan to get back in on this. The 2v5 turned 1v5 and soon to be 5 survivors, you'd think. Good chance for Riders to tie the game. And then again, aggressive angle. Unexpected casualty. Stefan versus Alex. That was actually the first round scriv. We had an op on the board for Mixwell. The very first CT sniper rifle, and it never gets a chance to shine. The aggression with the rifles works out perfectly. Riders tie it up, and of course Attax will buy back. They have all the cash in the world, still with some extra funds. Smoke to the top of mid. Bomb's gonna head out towards the apartments. They're splitting up across the board, and Attax want that map control. Easy does it. Opening op shot. Again, Alex tries the aggression. Very similar to what we saw with ramp last round, but this time Palace, and he's turned back around. Go home. 5 versus 4 for Attax to play, and I'm curious to see how long they wait this out. They have been tending to lean towards these later round executions.
Yeah, of course, the old classic fool me once coming in there. Slack's definitely prepared for a bit of aggression, not getting too aggressive himself. You know, he takes a fairly safe angle, and it works out perfectly. But yeah, I think it's going to give them that room, like you say, going into now the execute, but baiting out the utility from that CT side. They've not expended all of their own utility. It's kind of, you know, playing the double fake maybe. The smokes go down. The bomb itself, though, is coming in from behind, and it's this boost up into window. Mantu catching off that window player. You know, Soka, ultimately, what can he do? He does get 1, but not long for the world. There's too many angles to deal with. Same for Mopaz, and Death's just going to back away and save. So alternate attacks, not shaken. You know, they got demolished in the previous round, and instead of kind of being like, oh, wow, okay, confidence not going to be there, they come back with pretty much the same thing, you know, a taste of their own medicine, Movistar Riders, ultimately. And it's this time where the aggression worked. This time it fails completely, and it costs them the round, and they're not even going to survive with any players. It's another dominant round from alternate attacks to regain that lead.
2 turning points in the round. Firstly, again, an immediate op coming in from Slacks on Palace. Perfect. 5v4. That already adds an additional layer of pressure to the Riders. Then we have that window boost. The absolute trigger, the nail in the coffin. I mean, you could see the pressure being applied on the front side of the bomb site. Ramp and Palace, the players, they were just inching forward. They were trying to get in through the smokes, but it was the windowsill player who completely blindsides them. And then you get the perfect pinch on the site. So cleared out from his boxes. The follow-up 2 kills on the CTs, I believe, are Ticket Booth and the triple bomb stack. Where are you going to go? You're attacked from all fronts. And that's exactly what's going to happen yet again. But Alex gets the first one. Mantu's denied his entry. And with a wall of smokes over towards connector, this could prime the opper. Mixwell to be tested. We haven't seen big op plays yet out of the Riders. Not many chances. But speaking of chances, a Molotov that's extinguished gives him a second opportunity to take down the Palace player. But another miss, buying time for the CTs to rotate, and bomb's still not planted. 50 seconds. They have an opportunity for Dude to push into spawn. What if he flanks here? What if he gets behind Ticket? There's 2 players with backs turned and a bomb on the site that's feeling very pressured with a Molotov to burn them out. This could be great timing. Dude, he's got to go in now.
He really has to move forward. I mean, Mopaz is watching Stefan if he starts to approach forwards as well. They're going to be savvy to this flank. No, they're not. Death's his back is turned. He knows Mixwell is there. Surely the first. He's trying to get the second, though. This could be the difference. The smoke in the way is buying time for the CTs. Eventually, he goes down. But it is brought back to the 2 versus 2. There's enough time just about to go towards B. However, we've got Soka here, and he is ready for it. He could definitely, you know, deny this bomb plant. he could be this huge difference maker. Unfortunately, not quite fast enough, but will at least be able to be in a pretty decent position, maybe catch them off guard, but I think he has just been spotted, surely. There's no kits available. There's a Molotov in the hands of Mopaz, but what use is that really going to be? He's trying to get here as quickly as possible as the bomb ticks away. These positions are fantastic from the T side, but as Stefan tries to cross, he will go down, and Soka, knowing his angles, off the back of the bomb plant, able to pick up the second kill. The Movistar Riders, they will steal that one away. I feel like they had kind of no right with that flank coming in from Dude, but
Yeah,
just not quite able to take it.
that's a really sick round because there's so many little moments that change the timing of these 3v3, 2v2 situations. I mean, yes, Dude's flank was the big part, but what kept him from successfully clearing out Ticket as quickly as possible is Mixwell simply sitting inside the smoke. They knew he was, but they couldn't do anything about it until the smoke faded, and you saw the bomb site players actually push in and combine with Dude to clear it. Mopaz comes in off of Tetris, gets close sight, that pressure, that unknowingness of going for a plant with a player behind a box, it makes them go to B, and Soker's already on rotation. That's the most beautiful part of it all. You know, that's when the orchestra all comes together, is Soker's just walking up catwalk Skriv. He gets into that arch position, enables his teammate to come join him, and you said it best. The after plant spots for the T's, they looked good, but there was uncertainty. They didn't know if Mopaz was alone or if Soker was coming over from Murder Hole, and they get pinched. Just a really cool 2v2 retake that boils down to the nitty-gritty. The timing really turns the tide in that one. And now we have a mid play. All right, let's focus our attention on Mixwell. He's got eyes in the skies, and a grenade down range does almost 100 damage. There's a good chance for the player in apps to get pressure here, but Cressy doesn't want to because he thinks there's a third, and that's the right call. A weaker A setup, but it's afforded because of the aggression. Look how deep they are on ramp.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, though, definitely been heard here by Stefan. Going to come out, take him down. He thought they were all coming in from the connector angle. Unfortunately, not the case. And then Soka kind of quickly follows in at ramp. I think now a 4 versus 3 ensues. Sure, they've got these quick rotations. Okay, that's a risky open plant. I'm pretty sure they knew there was someone in at CT. He was waiting for a smoke, I guess, but just kind of stood there with the bomb out. I don't think he'd attempted the plant, but all the same, a little bit risky. We'll see. It does seem that it's not going to make too much of a difference in the overall round. And I think, yeah, the CT is just going to turn tail and go to save. But alternate attack's definitely looking a little shakier in the past few rounds. It has been a lot more back and forth recently, and I think, you know, because of the good early start the Movistar Riders were afforded, it certainly helped them and allowed them to keep things even. But I don't know, I think their CT side is maybe not as good as we'd like.
I was just going to say, consider that of the 6 rounds, you know, 4 of them are straight from the beginning of the game. So we allocate it to a solid hold on the pistol, you know, and that was a convincing hold. It wasn't a bare bones win. No, they deserved that initial bout. But in the follow-up, the 2 rounds we've seen them win since, one of them is that boiled down 2 versus 2 on the B site that arguably could have gone either way. You consider that, and you all of a sudden don't have a Riders that's really been in control at all. This has been a through and through Attax T side, and considering you're talking about an Attax that sits in the very bottom of this entire MDL league, Riders, they started this season with almost a flawless record. They were in first place until Valiant's now crazy went on, well, excuse me, crazy tear of like 13-0. So where is the Riders? Where is Mixwell's op presence? What can Soker do with a single AUG? It's been passed over because of deaths obviously taken from Montu. Or maybe it was even Slack. I don't know. We've got the op moving hands too. We've got Soker moving pieces. Dude, cleared out of the connector. This is forcing attacks back into the A site. Skriv, this is supposed to be an easy round. It was just an AUG and an op saved. But now attacks have their hands full.
Well, I mean, look, honestly, I've casted a lot of this kind of level, and they can kind of start to panic and fall flat once they lose one against like a weak buy like this. Some teams just, it all starts to crumble. Players try and make solo plays to overcompensate, such as, you know, something like this in Connector. It works out for Cressy, but that could have been another kill going the way of the CTs, and there it is. Because it's this kind of round, Alex can peek out, doesn't really care that he's on fire, will eventually get traded, but Soker in a perfect position to make sure that they keep the advantage. It's all going to be onto Mantu in a 1 versus 3 with the AWP in hand. I think he should be able to get the bomb plant here, but he's a little unsure of where the rest of these players are at. Going to take down the elbow of Mopos. I mean, this is certainly doable. They're coming in together. If he can play around this triple box specifically effectively, then you never know. He could definitely take this one. Obviously, the lack of armor for Soka not going to make too much of a difference. Trying to jump across, that'll bait out the shot. They'll be able to close the gap, and I think that might just be it. Oh, running out of ammo, though. Mantu is not going to find it. That's so very close, though. They are very, very lucky to get away with that one, almost pulling it back from the brink. But nonetheless, as you said earlier in the round, it's a weak buy for Movistar Riders. It doesn't matter whether they win with 5 or 1, they're going to be happy to steal away a 7th round.
That was a bit of a clench. I've got to say, man, Mantu 13 and 11. You got Soker on the other side, 13 and 9. So the two heavy hitters tonight trying to score a couple more rounds as this half comes to a close. This has been back and forth in nature, and I love it. We're getting some dirty clutch attempts. Mantu, I love that he could have gone for the plant. If he wanted to just make sure that he planted the bomb without anybody ever pushing up close ticket, then all he does is try to plant, and so be it, you die or you don't. But he boils down the time. He uses an additional 10, 15 seconds to kill the player inside of connector, to try and isolate at least a 2 versus 1 instead. And, well, valiant, glorious effort, and almost a flub spray down there. Soker delayed trade, but he gets it. But enough of last round. There's already a casualty on the board. Dude was up in connector and dead already. Attax shuffle their entire fleet elsewhere. A single peek out from middle. Look at Slacks. If he were to just turn his attention to the windowsill, Mixwell's sitting in no man's land, but he had just total tunnel vision. And the two ops, they scared each other, Harvey. They now have repositioned further back, both of them. Teams giving up this mid control as we hit the 50-second mark.
Yeah, this has certainly been an interesting one. I mean, it's been very, very slow, like you say, after that initial frag. I don't know if you really caught it, but dude just kind of ran out mid. You know, no smoke in towards window. Maybe there was meant to be one. And it was just pretty much a free kill for Mixwell, in all honesty. And it's kind of thrown alternate attacks for a loop. Like you say, they've been around the entire map so far. It seems with 30 seconds left, they are going to end up towards this A site, but I think it's going to be difficult for them. Surely if they just get the trades in, which they are doing, the CT side going to come out on top. Alex, of course, the scope of that AUG, not even needed on the 3rd kill, but all the same, a clean round coming in. And Movistar Riders will actually manage to regain the lead at the end of the half. I mean, alternate attacks look very, very dominant, but just kind of falling off a cliff towards the end.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's a matter of falling off a cliff, maybe, but I think it's more who scales the cliff. And you had Soker and Alex really fighting back there, even against some of the struggles economically. You're talking about a round where they had an AUG and, you know, that they still win because Soker can close it in what was that 2 versus 1 pushing triple stack. Like, again, great attempt in a clutch, but it's those very pressured situations that we saw Riders come out of multiple times at the end of a half. And I think you have to give credit to that. You know, it's deserving of recognition when you come out of those clutches as the winners, say 3 or 4 times. It wasn't even thrown into chance. It's those 2 players themselves, Alex and Soker. They're the reason we have Riders back in the lead. That's the reason we have them with a very prime chance off this pistol to maybe close it. But Mantu pinned down into the underpass, trying to duel for more than one, but Alex bests him. 4v4 right after. Double smoke, double flash for the utility on the T's. What more do these guys have for us?
Yeah, seeing this a lot more recently as well. You know, a lot of teams, I'll hold the point though, because Cressy's getting aggressive as soon as Mopos pulls some of that utility out, but he's not able to find the kill. Mopos is like, excuse me, I'm just throwing a smoke, then I'll deal with you. Making it look easy, honestly. 4 versus 3 coming in for Movistar Riders. Stefan through the smoke manages to find one, but this play through connector, sure they lose a player, but they are keeping the advantage ultimately. All going to be onto Stefan. Finds the low HP Mopos pretty easily. Maybe there's a kit around somewhere. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like he hadn't bought anything. I'm a bit confused. But all the same, he's not going to win the clutch. It'll be the 3K coming in from Mixwell. A 9th round for Movistar Riders. They have to fight for it in the end. Stefan tries his best. But unfortunately not quite able to stop what was seemingly inevitable after the kind of play in towards the jungle area. I think ultimately won the Spaniards that round.
Yeah, Stefan didn't buy you, right? I'm looking back
I don't know why.
The HLTV scoreboard. I don't see a buy. Alas, it brings us back into this one. AK, quadruple SMG. Riders going, oh my god, there's a Zeus boost. A Zeus boost on the windowsill from Mantu. And Alex gets zapped into tomorrow. Goodbye, farewell. That's one gun down. But no pause, he's gonna try to bring it back into the A site. Mixwell combining from the Palace place. And this right here is a very good chance to split down into CP spawn. Mixwell continues on, and dude tagged through smoke down for the count. That one Mac 10 thanks to the Zeus is all they got for this, and a second follow-up kill at a distance. It's not bad, it's not awful, but it's also not the force buy you'd hope for. So I'm sure they're glad they kept their cash instead.
Yeah,
Two
I mean,
rounds, turn 3 of a lead though. This is riders with momentum. We saw this in the first half, Scriv. How long can they ride it here on the T side?
I was just gonna say, you know, loving the boost for sure. It is pretty cool. But like you say, I mean, if you're gonna send someone crazy aggressive by themselves in a round like this, it would be the Mac 10 player. He does manage to get a kill on it actually. Obviously goes down, but I mean, you know, that's only the extra 600 because of course the Zeus no kill bonus anymore. After they brought the price down, I remember seeing so many Zeus's being bought up in rounds like that because it was just kind of, you know, get a kill and you return on what you'd spent. So they had to kind of do something about that. But we'll see. Now we're into the buy. Slack's going to be straight on the AWP. There's no kits for this CT side, but I'd say this is fairly workable. You know, a lot of utility available. Obviously important on Mirage if they're aiming to go for the initial mid control, which they're not. So it looks like they are going to be kind of focusing a little bit more on the retake scenarios with this utility. But yeah, I think if they can find an opening, it is definitely doable. But going into the post plant, I think it's going to be difficult. Cressy should have held mouse 1 a bit longer. Mopos left on 10 HP. He will be counting his lucky stars to be living at this point, as that was almost a cheeky opening pick.
This is it. T's coming in off the utility. Mopos cleared, and then the headshot from Deaths. Dude, he just takes the big 11 HP for the UMP, stuck in Palace, a big bottleneck, a choke up on the ticket booth. 3 CTs here. They could go for the boost over if they can get it all together. Not in time to stop plant, that's for sure. Dude's gonna be able to skewer this A site, but none of Riders push past the bomb. They're all just positioned back more cautiously. You know, they're waving them in. Attax trying to make contact. Soaker just hides in the sandwich. Now, he should have attention pulled away from him by the players behind, enabling him to go for the big play. If it even comes, they call the bluff of Attax. They welcome them to retake, and it's not gonna happen. With no utility, they decide to keep their guns, and I don't really blame them, but this is 11 rounds for Riders and a T side that just does not stop giving.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic stuff on the post plant, honestly. Like you say, it's just patient, don't peek, because I'm sure we've all played a bit of matchmaking and had to shout that to our teammates, but it works completely. They know that they're lacking in utility and probably in the kits. Maybe not, you know, savvy to the fact that there was literally none, but all the same, you know, they did a good job early on in the round of baiting out a lot of that utility that they had available, and then just playing it really well, and maybe, you know, done their homework a little bit, know that alternate attacks, known for the innovation, I suppose, a little bit with the boosts and whatnot. Some aggression coming in here, though, from the CT side. Pretty good pickup from Mantu, in all honesty. Mopos, no idea that was going to happen.
Can they get him back? Oh, it's close. He is just dodging shots. Keanu Reeves in Counter-Strike. Now that's a cameo. Soaker tries his best to spray him down, but he does retreat, so they're able to hold on to the 5v. And how do they shift their pieces accordingly? Well, Mantu, he's going to be just working his way through the murder hole, kind of patiently keeping eyes on mid. Doesn't want to overface, can't afford it. 15 health, still. It's interesting that they retreat him on such little HP and then still leave him as the front runner. You know, you've got 4 other players on a full, and yet Mantu's gonna have to be the crashing wave around him. Here's all these footsteps. It's gonna be a big call. CT's on site, prepared. Flash goes high. Cressy tries to get in amidst it all, but at least they've dropped this bomb.
Seem to be buying time for now. Cressy trying to move forward. He's going to take a nade right underneath him. Tags him down to 23 HP. Again, there's only the one kit available. I mean, it's definitely workable, but Alex is in from behind, surprising me, surprising alternate attacks. Picks up 2, and unfortunately, Cressy then, he was kind of relying on his teammates. I guess a bit of a quick reposition from Alex, and he's able to get the drop. The 12th round coming in, and Movistar Riders, again, it's kind of even in places, and then there's that one individual or that one, you know, gotcha moment where they're just able to turn the round on its head and take it by the tail, really.
Yep, 100%, 100%. And most commonly coming from Alex. Still, this time it's once you had Man2 decide to charge through smoke, once he tried to activate with the pop flash off Ticket booth. I mean, I get it. You had 2 CTs prioritizing duels, and that third one towards Ticket, the anchor, he's the support in the flash. So it's a nice attempt. But there's so many bodies for Riders there that Alex is able to then take the jungle control, get behind enemy lines for the retake, and Attax lose control of it all. Dude gave up his back. Then the player in connector just gets drive-by, one-tapped AK'd. Did him dirty. Op was posted up, didn't happen. Now, a Molotov gets dropped into the bottom of mid. Oh no! Oh no, what a tragedy. You just had one of Riders use their own Molotov to burn Mopaz back into underpass, then the CT's pop flash at the very same moment, getting this now 3 versus 2. Slacks takes the edge, and maybe this is what it takes for Attax to get on the board. A mistake. They made a mistake, and now they're being punished.
Yeah, some really, really good timings, though. I mean, there was that perfect flash coming in as well. 2 players peeking off it. I believe Cressy and Man2 just, you know, straight in towards middle. Again, trying to find some aggression, but like you say, it just comes at the perfect time when Movistar Riders kind of shooting themselves in the foot, and then alternate attacks helping out with the finish. But it's still a long road ahead, I think, and they do well here to not only win the round, but also survive with that bare minimum of 3. Going to be the money, obviously, being built up a little bit, making life easier into the next round. But Movistar Riders is definitely an opportunity for them. Obviously, we have the loss bonus stacking up and everything these days, but it's still a chance. If they're able to take this next round themselves and take it cleanly, then they could just be alternate attacks straight back into the dirt and kind of clean the game up off the back of it. But it is, of course, that question. Is it the spark that lit the flame? We'll have to see. Can alternate attacks convert that 8th round into a bit of a mini comeback here?
It's going to have to, unfortunately for him. A buyback in here, 3 rounds of loss bonus for Attax, assuming they lose this follow-up, could be devastating. They're able to still afford Slacks' op into this one, could have a clash on the top of mid. Looks like CTs want to pressure. In fact, they've gone all the way into the aggressive underpass play. Mopaz, he's going to get hit by Man2, but Man2's not looking. He doesn't clear the corner. Mopaz waits for the peek and bests him with the SMG. Now the little weapon hit hard. Can the big gun? No, it's smoked off. Slacks has to reposition. This is going to alleviate some pressure from the players at the top of mid, but Cressy decides to get himself into underpass. Now this goes one of 2 ways, Scriff. He can retreat back through connector now, or he's going to get caught here. He goes for the duel, and he loses the follow-up. That's Soaker going for a trade. How else can the CTs maintain what they've lost? Well, Slacks gets aggressive on Cat. He's trying to use that op, trying to take down a player at the top of mid. Bomb could even be included. But there's also one in connector. Face-to-face, tip-to-tip, Mopaz and Stefan. But a follow-up smoke behind him, and Stefan walks through. My God, this round is boiling down to millimeters and milliseconds.
It really is, of course, the timing a key part. Molotov kind of failing a little bit and actually makes a big difference because Stefan's able to come through. But again, they do well to trade it. Dude, though, he's going to take down Mixwell. Meanwhile, Slacks has turned it into a 2 versus 1. Soka still has the bomb, but he is out of there. He's going to go back towards A, but no, turns around, tries to take the fight. Slacks left very low. He's at a man disadvantage, but maybe he's trying to play it aggressively. Unfortunately, no one really peeking in. Again, the timing's not quite working out for him, but those HPs are going to be the difference makers, surely. Also, the fact that he's only got 7 bullets, someone calls it, and because he crossed to reload, Slacks gets into the decent position and is able to take him down, winning the round. But yeah, like, again, just another timing moment. A split second later, rather, he might have found that kill and been able to get the reload off nonetheless. Like, it's a pretty unlucky one there for Movistar Riders.
This game is actually providing quite a few treats in terms of ridiculous timing and wild rounds. the fallbacks, the aggressions. But you mentioned in that round, I didn't see it, Scrib, a Molotov inside of connector that allowed for that peak. Was there another
Yeah.
kind of like flub Molotov coming out of Riders?
Well, I think there was a smoke. There was a smoke.
Yeah, the smoke on the molly in connector, then he goes for the peak on the side of it. All right. Okay. So, that's when the mid control starts to get pressured, but it's also what allows for Soker to fall back. You know, he gets aggressive on connector, he gets a couple kills, but he also dies. That serving as the door to the A site. Just the pistols now for Riders. Attax staring double digits in the face. CT's gonna get sectioned off by smokes, and there's one very close that allows for them to get near the bomb site, but even regardless of footsteps near, it's the kills that aren't so clear until now. Alex with a double off the CZ, upgrades into the AUG, and the last two players for Attax are these rotators. Dude, we have another one of these rounds.
I know, right?
Alex can fall off. His options to go to BR open. He could try to get back into middle. A question for Attax will be, at what point do they start worrying about the flank? Mantu already seems to be anticipating a CT push, but here's the bad part. If Mantu's thinking he pushed CT, then they're not anticipating that he's actually gone towards the top of mid. So they're more inclined to think he's pushed or is on the bomb site, and this makes sense based on Dude's position, than heading off to B, which means now he has time to reposition after the plant. If he gets aggressive inside of the marketplace, that's where he could have a chance to cut off the rotations. If he falls back into the bomb site, he's still going to need to find a 1 versus 1 first. That's what I'd say I'd put my money on. Get that 1v1 and hide. Or does he just go all in on the bench play?
I mean, if they don't check him,
and they've made
this
sound.
could be devastating.
They've made sound, so he's got audio on the player back from door. Mantu's gonna go up close. What a haphazard way to jump around. Now Alex peeks, and he has to switch to the CZ. It's close. Three shots in a 4K. No way. Riders winning a ridiculous round.
I mean, that is the way to do it, you know, but I just kind of have to comment, that's like a mentality thing, honestly. When you're in a round like that, and it's like at the start of the round, it's like, okay, our main objective here, guys, as a team, is to get the bomb down on A. And, you know, they throw all that utility in. It doesn't really work out. Then Alex gets 2 kills, and he has an opportunity to plant the bomb. And then it's like, right, objective complete. I might end up going down, but we got the bomb plant. We got that extra money into, you know, the next round. And everyone's assuming we're going to lose. But he has the confidence and the mentality to just go, actually, I'm going to win this round. I can win this. I'm going to creep off back towards B, and I'm going to take him down. And everything just plays into his hands. Like we said, the bench play, it's a little bit risky, but he doesn't get checked. You know, they kind of go in, like you said, haphazardly, and the hazard is Alex, and he's going to trip you up and take the round. So, yeah, just a crazy 4K from him overall.
Ridiculous, dude. I mean, the glaring error. You don't check bench. But what kind of little crab walking creeper is just crouched back there? Alex, that's who, 25 and 13. I mean, I was trying to paint the picture of him kind of being the savior here on Mirage. He's the reason we still have Riders with a substantial lead. He's the reason they've clutched X amount of rounds. But now he's just doing it for me. That last one's ridiculous. Wild game of CS. But let's tone it back down a little, because it is just pistols, all right? Nobody should be going ham with the Juandigs, but there are 3 of them on the field, CZ P250 included. By the way, Alex had 3 bullets in that CZ. Everybody take a moment. 3 bullets in the CZ, Scrib, is how he closed out that clutch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Talk about lucky, really, at the end of the day.
There's the big peak. There's the big peak with the CTs, and they almost line up for him. So it's an assist and a kill for Soker, and a round for the Riders. I guarantee it. Scrawny, seal of approval.
Fair enough. I mean, that's all you need, really, at the end of the day. And they're not even going to lose a single player. So your seal of approval, I mean, get it trademarked. It's pretty effective, apparently. So, yeah, a 14th coming in, relatively simple.
It's registered, man, already. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, good stuff. Good stuff. On the ball. All right.
Ooh, double ops. This is another first. It took a long time on the CT side of Riders to even get 1 op rolling, but here we are at the 24th round of the game. We have alternate attacks pulling out the double snipe.
See what they can do with it, or they're going to meet here. They're going to meet an AK. Slacks is getting aggressive, but through the plant pot. Not going to be expecting that angle at all, but I mean, you kind of have to do something right in a round like this. Unfortunately for Slacks, Mopos knows it, you know, and he just plays it perfectly. I think he's trying to retrieve that up as well. He will, to at the very least, deny it from them. Pretty well done from him. He even drops the AK behind before going to get it, just to make sure that no one's going to, you know, steal that away from him. And now just going to hold this angle down. Movistar Riders just reading alternate attacks like a book. Perfect stuff, honestly. And yeah, there goes the AWP. See you later. No double AWP setup going into what could potentially be the final round of the game in their minds. So a really good opening pick and just a really good follow-up to that opening pick to make life easier.
I'm curious to see though. Riders, they've had this full op control. You know, they're very much aware of the fact they've taken an op away from the CTs. Do they anticipate a second? And more importantly, can it get into position to where it'll impact the outcome of the round? Because at the moment, Riders, they are very much sinking their teeth into the A site, and Stefan has a Molotov to work with. He's just jump spotting ticket booth. You know, this is not the kind of A site setup that I'd put all my chips on. And considering the CTs are now smoked off, we've got Montu in a very difficult position with a Molotov on the other side. Shouldn't come into fruition. There should be no kills, but there is at least one. Stefan peeks off of it, and 8 seconds is all they have to work with. In fact, there's a gap. Mantu could go for another, but he's cleared out a connector, and the bomb's now gone down. Oh, Cressy cleared out, and dude's got to do it all. In from connector already. Takes heavy damage off of the frag and throws a grenade back the other way. Does the exact same. Mixwell sits to a quarter HP, scoped in on site. Both of these T's just crouching and creeping. They're playing the ticket strat. Just hide in sight and win out another round. Riders to the 15th, and we have 6 map points on our hand with a near non-existent economy for the CTs. I believe here, Scriv, that we've got Riders' 10th win of the season all wrapped up.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, to be honest, and it's kind of a shame, really. You know, it was so very close to the turn of the half, but Movistar just able to use that momentum, it would seem. We'll see. CT's pulling out some aggression, some 3-man aggression, in fact. However, it's not going to work out. Goodness me, if that doesn't sum up this T side from Movistar Riders, I don't know what will. All going to be down to Cressy now in the 1 versus 5. Soka's low HP, that's about all he's got going for him. The bomb isn't with the T's, I guess. He's also got that, but a UMP in hand, tries to take the fight against Deaths, and he loses it out. And it is pretty sad stuff, to be honest, overall. Movistar Riders just so very dominant on that T side of Mirage.
100%. Once we switched over, they just took complete control of the game, and you can't forget the amount of wild rounds that boiled down to just I'm going to use the word stupid, just stupid timings, ridiculous timings, moments where just a shoulder is hidden behind a corner before anyone has info, and that decisions are made from it. God, you had to be here. You had to watch it. What a crazy first game to start off the broadcast, folks. But we've got 2 more for you here at the ESEA Mountain Dew League. And so we'll throw to a break and be back with the action. We're already past the hour, which means the game's going to be probably live soon enough. We'll see you guys there for map 2.